Hello, hello. Welcome back to Papa Don't Preach. I'm here with Bennett Miller, and I am Obi Ikamafuna. Bennett, how you doing?
Currently not bad. Doing A-okay.
I know that last time we checked in with you, you went through this like whole sobriety route. Like, is that you still holding that up?
Still doing it. Still not smoking or doing nothing.
I'm so jealous of you. I'm like a fucking mess.
It was rough, and this is like the week it's like settling in, where it's like, okay, it's 9 o'clock at night. The kids are asleep. The dishes are done. The laundry's put away. What do I do now?
Now what?
Now what? Because usually you just smoke weed and you can literally do anything and it's fine. But now it's like I got a restlessness inside of me that's like video games sometimes don't capture. Although Nintendo did a really great thing. Nintendo drops a surprise game every once in a while. So they had like Tetris 100 or Tetris 99, where you're playing against 99 other Tetris players. They had Mario 99, where you're Mario in against 90 other players. Now they just came out with F-Zero 99.
Oh,
so it's like you and 99 other drivers.
Captain Falcon?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So that's been, hitting my dopamine button pretty hard.
Oh, shit.
Bumping into people and jumping over stuff. Because I played a lot of F-Zero as a kid. It was like
underrated game.
It was great. It was one of those like we only had a couple Super Nintendo games for a long time, and that was one I played the hell out of.
It was great. It was fantastic. Another underrated one was Excite Bike. That was another underrated one. I was just like, why is there not an Excite Bike 2? Maybe there is in China, but I don't have it.
No. So that's what I've been doing instead of smoking weed. Is video games and reading. Also reading Ninja Turtles. I've been going back and reading the old black and white comics, which are really interesting.
Oh, man. We got to get this motherfucker a blunt.
Yeah, he needs drugs.
I am reading a good old time.
It's
New York Turtles.
It's fascinating.
Oh,
the whole story, I mean, this is a big time aside, but the whole story is how the Ninja Turtles came together. Two guys love comics. All they want to do is make a living in comics. They made a studio out of their apartment. They sold the first issue sold like 3,000 copies. They shopped it around. Action figure company bought it. The action figure company said, hey, let's make a cartoon of it. They'd only made 12 issues of Ninja Turtles when this is happening. This is like 1988. Then flash forward a couple years, a couple failed Ninja Turtle series. One of the guys, the younger guy, is like, hey, I'm going to sell my rights. Like, I'm done with the Turtles. Like, so he sells it to the older guy.
Oh, my God.
Older guy holds on to it until Viacom comes along and says, you know what we love? Those Ninja Turtles. Here's $60 million. So one guy got $60 million, and the other guy is still working on Ninja Turtles. And it's a really interesting, rough story because, obviously that's a pretty hard bridge to burn.
Yeah.
And only in the last couple of years they've kind of come together. They a series called The Last Ronin, which is about like the last Ninja Turtle.
Dude, that looks so sick.
It's dark and great, but it was literally like
we can't spoil it, right? We can't tell them who the Last Ronin is.
No.
Okay.
Whatever.
No, you can't say it.
No, you can't say it. But so it's like this full circle thing. They were really could not stand each other for a long time, and then they finally made this kind of full circle comic. So I'm going back and reading all that stuff.
Oh shit!
And it's interesting the ideas they came up with and how the characters they created and how quickly people took it away from.
Oh damn!
It started making toys and action figures and cartoons and movies and movies and movies and movies and movies.
Fuck.
Interesting.
Man, I want to.
There's two guys writing a black and white. And literally, there were two guys. They would write and draw together. They'd write. One guy would draw a little bit, hand it to the other guy. He'd draw a little bit, hand it back to the other guy, draw a little bit. So all their line work's really thick and it looks overworked because it is overworked. It's two guys working, passing it back and forth, and eventually mailing it back and forth, and until they're like, okay, we're both happy with this. Now put it to the printer.
Shit.
Yeah, insane.
See, I think it's because I've never been in this situation, but if I was working with somebody and it all fell to shit, and I'm like, I'm sticking with it. Fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Because I have somebody in my life right now that, stopped picking up the phone, whatever. Yeah. Gone. If I said I'm staying with this project, and if for any reason that this project ends up taking off, the first phone call I'm going is to that fucking person. I'll be like, yo. And I will never shame someone for giving up an idea and trying to move on with their life. And as long as they're not like, fuck you, I want this, this is your rights. I'm going to reach out to that person. If it gets nasty, it gets nasty. But this is my, the way I think. It's I choose to believe the good in other people because I feel like that's the only way the world will move in a positive direction. And so I know that my first call will be to this person and be like, hey, I have two options for you. I just got a buttload of money. I'll either give you this much or you can come back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one. And like, I'll try and figure it out.
Yeah.
Because like, no matter what happened between those two, they both put their fucking blood, sweat, and tears into that thing. That was their baby.
It was equal parts, like character design, everything. And then, the guy took the check and he was like, okay, buy Ninja Turtles. And then the Nickelodeon was like, hey, Kevin Eastman, didn't you make the Ninja Turtles? Would you like to work for us now? So he got paid, because like I follow him on Instagram and like he's still doing the cons, he's still doing all that stuff. And the other guy is not. The other guy has $60 million and is not doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, I would love anybody I had an idea with to have a choice.
Yeah.
It's
a rough, interesting story.
Speaking of interesting stories, I don't know if you heard about what's going on in Vegas right now.
I just saw. It is like,
oh my God.
It's like out of, what's the movie, Vanilla Sky, when like the footage I saw in like because basically MGM Grand is being held ransom by a hacker group.
Yes.
And they've shut down fucking everything.
Yes. And MGM Grand owns a lot of hotels.
Yes. Yeah. Like, all the digital slots are down. Elevators are down. Hotel keys are down. Like,
dude,
you
blinds down. Like,
you can't do anything.
Anything that's on a computer is down.
Which is everything in Las Vegas.
They have digitized all of Las Vegas, so everything is down.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I haven't been seeing news coverage of it.
That's the other thing. Like, I've just seen it. Like, I saw someone sent me like a little Instagram thing about it, and that's like, how the mainstream media isn't covering. It's like, that's weird. And literally, it was just tech blogs and tech sites. Like when I Googled like, MGM hostage situation.
The only reason I was talking about it, and your phones listen to you, and I think my sister's boyfriend's going to a bachelor party in Vegas or some shit like that. And so like I just got all these Vegas memes, and then all this stuff for Vegas started popping up. I'm like, should I tell this motherfucker not to be going to Vegas? But not my problem, not my job.
Yeah. I mean, you take cash, I think you're good. Just no credit.
It's like people are checking, like hotels are checking people up on clipboards.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned there was walkie-talkies.
I saw, it was like in an elevator. It was like an elevator with a walkie-talkie. It says, if you need to go, like, walkie us.
Yeah. we'll crank you up. Dude, that's crazy. I can't imagine all the other like shittier hotels laughing all the way to the bank right now.
Oh yeah, you think like Circus, the clowns are all counting their cash and being okay.
They're checking motherfuckers on clipboards, be like, "Ooh, get a new computer." They said, "How you like me now?"
So like Blaine said, it's like the credit card machine. We're all good here. This is carbon paper. They ain't going nowhere.
The Rio's like pink for you, yellow for us. Fuck you, MGM. It has to be so good, man. One thing I'm not sure, and like we'll have to wait till the dust settles, but it seems like these hotels are taking care of their workers and paying them OT.
I did see that. It's like they're trying to like keep, because they're
trying to keep the lights on.
Hemorrhaging money. I'm assuming.
It's
worse than even the pandemic. You had motherfuckers still the casino gambling. Like still people there.
I'll let you know. Like I remember, like there's times that Vegas is quiet. I remember I stopped in Vegas. I think it was like the Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's like 5:45 on Sunday morning.
Yeah, bro. It was wild. Like all the clubs were. I was like, wait, Vegas has an off day?
Yeah.
I was just stopping over for a drive. I'm like, oh yeah, we can stop in Vegas here and like, continue into Arizona and hate our lives. I was like, yeah, Vegas is gonna be fun. It's the holidays. Everybody's off. No, there's only the worst of the worst people that are at a casino on Christmas Eve.
That sounds like a good time to go.
I'll tell you right now, there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of the worst of the worst. So like things are open, but like, staff is getting drunk. Like they're taking all the governors off the fucking go-karts and we're like, you want to go 50 miles per hour? Go 50 miles per hour.
You have to like really, really either hate or your family hates you to be at the casino on Christmas Eve.
I can't imagine. Imagine like being in one of those hotels right now, just in your room and everything's digital. And like you can't turn on your TV because it's connected. You can't open your blinds. You can't close your blinds. Imagine taking a shit in a fucking digital bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, the bidet doesn't work. I guess I have to. How do I wipe my ass?
Yeah, I mean, are the faucets like automatic? Like, does that work? Like, is everything done?
Just like oop oop oop.
It's like fucking what's it, Maximum Overdrive? Or you start chomping on people while slot machine's gonna eat somebody's tie.
I love how you have like this cartoonish brain. Just. Like,
yeah.
It's not the worst thing, but it's like funny death. Funny chaos.
I mean, he's going to die, but it's going to be funny.
Yeah. Dead.
And then it just like the spinners spin and the blood starts going down as.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Some Gremlins type comedy shit.
I did see Gremlins way too young.
I saw Gremlins real too young. I saw Gremlins on KTLA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, for those who are not here, KTLA is like our Channel 5. Like back in the day, they used to show movies on Saturday night. They had the Saturday night and Sunday night movies. And I remember I watched it and my dad would like pop in. We were like, oh, this is the Gremlins. And my dad obviously knew there was parts missing.
Yeah.
So we went to Blockbuster and rented the real movie. And I was like, I didn't need to see this. I didn't need to see this. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I remember how adults would like, do you remember like the voice, the shitty voiceover? Man, I feel so old because I don't think kids will get this, but the shitty voiceovers they would do on television when there was
dubs?
a swear,
Yes.
dubs, when they're like, what the hell is going on over here?
Yeah.
And you're like,
I think I had a shirt for a bit, like the Big Lebowski was, whatever. It's like, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
okay.
It was this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps, and like hitting, beating his car up.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good. We were just talking about, using a digital toilet. Like I knew, like when I was in Japan, I keep dropping that because I'm sophisticated.
World traveler for sure.
Yeah. When I was in Japan in Shibuya, yes,
Yeah.
pronounced it correct.
Nice.
There was some. I cannot imagine if like all the tech just shut down. Like, and you had to go back to toilet paper. like I couldn't use a bidet anymore. I had to because like they don't take care of you in Japan. It's one ply everywhere because like this is just for drying your booty, not for wiping it. Like there's a whole thing that does that for you.
It sings while it does it.
How much toilet paper do you use? Like, do you like what?
Are we jumping in this now, or do you want to do this when we come back?
I mean, we
could talk a while about this.
I really want to know. Like, our producer brought it up.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about it. Now, like, I had this Vegas thing on the mind, and I'm like, holy shit. No pun intended. How much toilet paper do you use? Because I have a very, very complicated butt routine.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I've been...
Yeah.
I don't know if we should get this deep.
We're hitting middle age. Like I'm saying, do we need to talk about this now or after the break?
I think we should take a break.
All right.
Because like maybe we'll talk some sense.
I'm not saying nothing until we get back.
All right. We'll take a break, ladies and gentlemen. This is Papa Don't Preach. Stick around. We'll be right back with more. And we're back. Yeah, sorry for getting a little loud up in there. All right, thank you guys. We're back. It's nice and quick break. So we were talking about booty holes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're very different.
Sure.
Very different.
Mm-hmm.
I have a particular routine when I wipe my butt, but I found that there's this big discussion of how much toilet paper people use.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'll go first if you want me to.
Sure.
Toilet paper is not really a big factor for me anymore. It's kind of out of the game.
All right.
I for a long time, when I was at home, like the little move I would do is I would take a little toilet paper, like a little 3-roll,
Mm-hmm.
boop, 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 and I take a little water, sprinkle it on it from the sink, and then I wipe my butt. Because to me, like I watched the thing on Bill Nye when I was so Bill Nye had this clip on the Bill Nye to Science guy.
This is Bill Nye's fault why you wipe your butt this way?
Yes, because all right, so Bill Nye a long time ago was talking about bidets and like why it's good to wash your butt, and it was like this kid's thing. And he smudged some mud on a shoe that looked like shit and took a paper towel and tried to wipe it off. And then he's like, look at it. And then he took a hose and then sprayed it off and then wiped it and goes, what's the difference here? He's like, and he explained how moisture breaks down solids, especially things that aren't solidified or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I'm walking around with a crusty ass. I got to wash my butt. So from like a very, very young age, from like 6 to 7 years old, I started like doing a little sprinkle on there. So from then I graduated to wet wipes, like the wet ones.
Yeah.
So, you do one wet one, dry it off, and then if you're poor and don't have a bidet, you walk out of there.
Yeah.
So I don't use that much toilet paper. How much toilet paper do you use? Like, what's your routine?
I use a lot of toilet paper. I'm not sure. I probably need to see a professional. I have a very sensitive butt.
Oh, I'm with you.
I'm a sensitive man. Probably starts with my butt. So I use a lot of toilet paper. I'm constantly doing the checks. I'm constantly trying to do a little maintenance work while the business is happening, which means you got to flush a bunch, which means it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
And
Holy
then
shit.
this is a whole,
Hey.
On top of that, like I get the wipes too. I get the wipes so much. It's like if it's like there's a wipe in my luggage right now. Like,
oh yeah,
those travel with me. If I go to a hotel, if I go anywhere, I need my ass taken care of because we know hotel
I
toilet
go to
paper.
Costco and I get the fucking big wipes.
Yeah, especially if you're like in Vegas right now, the digital toilet paper ain't working, so you got to bring your own wipes. It's a thing. It's definitely like a thing. Like,
yes.
I can't. My poor sensitive butthole would be like, oh no, not the single ply.
I remember. when I used to go to church, I would always remember to go to bathroom before church because I remember when I was a lot younger, my mom would. I don't know have you ever been to black churches like in the city, like the black churches?
No, I haven't.
All right, these Southern Baptist churches are like 4 to 5 hours long.
Yes, I have heard that. Yeah,
it's like. Not chill.
It's a day thing. Yeah,
it's like you get there at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking out of there at like 3 or 4. It might as well be a fucking job.
I'm sure by the end Jesus is like, all right, enough.
Dude,
I'm good. I'm gonna take a nap.
Like the first part's fun, then it gets a little. Then you're like, okay. Then you think they're wrapping it up.
This guy's a little preachy up here.
Then another dude shows up. You're like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? It's noon. But so. I remember, like, I would always remember to go to the bathroom because I told my mom, I'm like, I don't like going there because they have bad toilet paper. They have bad toilet paper. I don't know what it was. I didn't know what they were skipping on, but it was not only was it single ply, but it was the one where it was that big silver box. You tried to pull a sheet and only one flap would come out.
That's the word. It's like,
and like you're sitting there stacking flaps. And with this shit, like it's like the toilet seat cover company and the toilet paper company got together to do like prank us and like, yo, give me some of your toilet seat cover. I'm gonna make it like one flap so some douchebag comes in here and rips his butthole apart trying to wipe his ass. I didn't understand. Like I'm in the house of God.
Yeah,
like
it's recycled from glass. It's like that's what it's made out of.
In a heavenly place.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be watching my butt.
We was speaking a lot of Vegas. Last time I was in Vegas, I'm a sensitive butt. It's a smelly butt too. It's just probably because I eat garbage all day. But anyway, last time we were in Vegas, to spare Natalie, I'd go to not Vegas, any hotel. If there's a bathroom in the lobby, I'm going to the lobby bathroom. And I'm taking my wipes and I'm taking a book with me, like a fucking I don't know what, like a dad.
I'll tell you,
a dad taking wipes in the public bathroom with me.
I'll tell you, like when I'm in hotels with my partner. If I'm sober enough, I always use the lobby bathroom. I'm just like, I'm a caring guy. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm not, then I'm sorry, this shit's getting blown up because
it's also because bathrooms are all designed by like super efficient German people who thinks like, let's just slide the door closed. We don't need the door closed now. That's my German accent.
Yeah. Well, you go into like, the problem is like, when I go to a hotel, I want to be taken care of. I want the fanciest, the best, and everything. Mm-hmm. My partner, Shannon, not the same way. She's all about aesthetic and boutique, and which means shitty. It just looks cool. So, like, I'm in, like, this lofty hotel with high ceilings, wood frames, some weird-looking TV that doesn't get the channels I want.
No bathroom door.
There's a fucking curtain or beads, like... old-fashioned tub that I don't fit in, a fucking toilet with a crank, and she's like, oh my God, isn't this so cute? I'm like, I hate it here.
Crank in the toilet.
But, it makes for great pictures. I'm always fucking sitting there. I'm a sucker, too. I'm taking pictures. People are like, where are you? I'm like, wouldn't you like to know? Like, exclusive, high class. But inside, like, I want to be at a fucking Four Seasons. Like, I want to be at even a fucking Hampton Inn. Like I'll take a fucking Hampton Inn, like a DoubleTree if I'm balling.
I know a Hampton Inn doors are going to close. They can't afford to have sliding doors at a Hampton Inn.
They can't afford not to. I'll tell you right now. I'm not going to talk shit about the Hampton Inn. I'll leave it right there. That's a whole other thing. But as a dad, speaking of pooping, something happened to me the other day that's like, I remember when it happened with my father, and you know, I graduated to like fatherhood on this day, but just the other day, like a few days ago, I asked my son to go to bed. He didn't. He was staying downstairs. I was like, it was bedtime, but he was waiting for me. So I went down, like I was downstairs and I went to the bathroom. I figured he went upstairs. Like he took his little iPad and I was going to get him ready. I already put on the TV, thought everything was chill. I went downstairs and I went to the restroom, a number 2, if you will. You know, I opened the window. I was like, okay, cool. I opened the door and there's Ozo like, hey, how are you? I'm like, oh, I thought you were going to bed. He's like, yeah, I was. And he stopped right there because he got a whiff of what just happened in there. And like his face, he was just like, he did like the almost puked. And I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? He's like, oh, yeah, it's just really stinky. And I'm like, all right, let's get out of here. But like my kid almost puked on me. He just like wasn't ready. And it was like the fact that like he just did like a big inhale. Hey, daddy. Just, he got all of it. He got all of it. I felt real bad for him. Like I just, like you could see the strain in his face. He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't even put 2 and 2 together at that time. I was like, oh shit, he's choking on a raisin. Like this is a child who ate a Lego. No, I did this. This was my fault.
And that's what the song Circle of Life is about.
The circle of poop.
Yeah. I've had that same memory of like walking into the bathroom and like, Jesus. It's like an atmosphere in here.
Like I remember like my dad had a 2-bedroom apartment and I just walked in after him. I'm like, there's a baby hippopotamus dead under the sink.
Something's dead in here.
I'm just like, my dad's like, like big Nigerian, like, oh, you don't like that scent. Like, he's like, ha ha. My dad laughs like Bison from Street Fighter. Like, like Blades met my dad. You see Eddie? Eddie laughs like an African. Like an African. Like, I mean, I don't even want to get into this rant right now, but so question for you. Do you have like this connection with people who are from Louisiana? Like when you meet somebody who's from Louisiana, is there like this connection that you share?
Yeah, it's unique in that way. Like I'm sure people in Ohio will be like, oh, you're in Ohio? Cool. Like literally I met someone this week who went to LSU and like grew up in a weird part of Louisiana. And it's an immediate connection, like immediately.
I don't have that. I don't have, like when you grow up in LA and you meet somebody from LA, you're like, hey, where you from? They're like, oh, Van Nuys. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big place.
That's it. Like, that's it. Like, unless they was like, yo, I grew up on the street that you grew up on, we got nothing.
Yeah.
We got nothing. And I started realizing that I'm like kind of this dude with that fucking, like, I am Nigerian. And I'm an American-born Nigerian, which is a very unique place to be in. So unless I meet another American-born Nigerian, they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Because in Nigeria, you're the American. In America, you're the African.
Yeah.
Like they let you know that no matter where you are. And there's like this particular thing that you go through when like an American sees you, but you're Nigerian. They're like, oh, you're Nigerian? Oh, your name's Mwadu? I knew an Emmy. Great. We all know each other. I'm glad I'm glad you know this guy with a similar name. But when you meet a Nigerian and they're just like, you're from Nigeria. What part? And I'm like, Anambra. Anambra. All right, what part of Anambra? I'm like, okay. My family's from Bo, Onisha, really. Onisha. How do you say that? Onisha. That's how I'm like, okay, listen here. I hear the way you talk. You hear the way I talk. You don't need to prove you're more Nigerian than I am. All right, I'm just saying that we share some, like, it's a whole thing that we got to go through. And like, I started realizing that I see outside, like I see when Puerto Ricans meet Puerto Ricans, like they got their thing. I even see it with like people from the States. When you're from Louisiana, you got your thing. And I realized Nigerians, god damn. Like the first thing is to attack.
Yeah.
But shit, man. I'm Nigerian until I die. I don't give a fuck.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
What a weird place to be in.
I'm a man without a country.
Yeah. I mean, the only way I could possibly relate is now that I'm like officially a Californian. Like I'm not a Louisiana. When I talk to Louisiana people like that don't know me since high school, it's like I might as well be from born on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, you've been here over a decade. You got your card punched. You're a Californian.
Yeah.
You know, do you call it? Do you say the 10 freeway or the 10 freeway?
I say the 10.
Yeah, you Angelino.
It was I-10 my entire life. I drove I-10 everywhere. Now I take the 10 to go to work.
The 10. It's the 10.
It's the 10.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I like that. It makes me feel better that I have a fellow Angelino next to me.
Yeah, they don't want me back there either.
Do you know French or do you just know like the funny stuff?
Just the funny stuff.
Just the funny stuff?
Yeah, I'm not great with languages. Like I've been to foreign countries and literally when I went to Italy I was saying like, gracias after everything for the first couple of days and I lit in my brain it's like it don't know. I'm trying but man, it ain't good. No, I just know like, les éléments roulés and comment t'appelles-tu?
Est-ce que je peux le toilette s'il vous plaît? Les poissons.
That's the fish.
Yeah, it's a Little Mermaid.
Yeah, la poisson.
All right. Oh,
there's the only other. There's a little town on the way to Lafayette called Grand Tete, which just means big head.
Grand Tete?
Yeah, Grand Tete.
Do you say like, hey, I'm from Grand Tete, Louisiana?
Yes, you could say that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Grand Tete.
Grand Tete, Louisiana.
All right, you still got the twang though. You still got.
I have to. The way I center myself is I say alligator, and that's how you get your accent started. You got to say alligator first, and then it goes from there. I don't know why. Well, I know why. It's swamp people.
It's swamp people.
The swamp people. The very first time I saw the swamp people on the television, I did not need the subtitles. Like this, I am related to swamp people.
Alligator.
Elizabeth, get the alligator. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm not laughing at you.
Hey,
I'm not laughing at you. But god damn, you pulled that out, alligator. Like, I was not ready for that. That hit me. That hit me in my soul. Oh damn. Okay. Well, I want to take a quick break because we're just catching up with each other right now. I know that we're gonna have a couple weeks off coming up soon.
Yeah, we've got life stuff coming up. I'm taking a trip to Texas before I start a show, and you're starting a show, and you're going all over the place.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do it remote, but shit, they're
So you told me your schedule.
Yeah.
And then, once I start my show, that show's fucking tough too. I mean, it's MasterChef, whatever.
Yeah,
I haven't signed the NDAs yet.
Yeah, I forgot to send you some paperwork. Le bon ton.
A cooking show where someone may or may not be the master.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna be right back. You guys stay tuned. We'll be back with more Papa Don't Preach. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking around for another episode of Papa Don't Preach. As you know, this is a segment that we call Papa's Pulpit, where me and Bennett, we just kind of rant about things that are getting on our nerves. And this week isn't any different. We are both industry people. Like, we support our own. We know we work very, very hard. It's a big wheel with a lot of spokes, and the strike is still going on, but something caught our eye this week.
Yeah. Well, we, the show that I may not be working on now that I said it out loud, we mainly work in reality TV. So the people that are hosts they're not IATSE, they're not acting because they're themselves.
They play themselves. Gordon Ramsay's always going to be Gordon Ramsay. Simon Cowell's always going to be Simon Cowell.
If you watched any reality show, we don't have writers.
Yeah.
It's a producer that usually writes stuff for Ramsay to say and tells it in his ear. Like,
regular people cosplaying as actors and producers cosplaying as writers. That's what reality TV is.
So we're very fortunate to be working right now. I completely understand that. And two other people decided, hey, we want to join. We want to start working again too. Bill Maher and Drew Barrymore, respectively, both decided they're going to start their shows up again.
Yes.
Both, they have shows with, Drew Barrymore's, she was hanging out with E.T. forever. Like, she's an actress. Like, she's a lifetime actress.
I can't
writers on our show. Bill Maher is a stand-up, has writers on his show forever,
Yeah, these are the two worst people I would say to cross the picket line.
Yeah.
Like, these are the two worst individuals that will stand up there and say, hey, we're going to do this no matter what. And like, I understand it. I understand it. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah. I've had contact with both of these people, actually the same studio.
Oh shit!
I was doing Crafty on a show, and this is probably not a good thing for me, but hey, it's my experience.
Okay.
I saw someone at the Crafty table, and my first thought was like, whose mom is at the Crafty table? Like, someone literally dropped off the kids at school, and then like is now at my Crafty table, and it was Drew Barrymore.
Oh shit!
She was the host of the show. That was my only contact with her. I was like, oh shit, she's like a regular person. Look at her. And then Bill Maher, we used to shoot like right next door to them, so we used to fight with parking with their writers all the time.
Yeah, I've been there at the TV City.
Mm-hmm. So I know firsthand that he's kind of a prick.
Yeah.
I've heard talk.
So like, here's the thing.
I've seen him talk. He's kind of a prick.
This idea that they're like, hey, there's people that are hurting that aren't the writers, and it's not fair, is understandable, but also bullshit.
Yeah, Bill Maher also shoots like once a week, like his show ain't Price is Right. His show ain't America's Got Talent. Like, he's not shooting every single day. Same thing with Drew Barrymore. They cook out a few episodes a day and then she's off 4 days a week or something. It's like
the fact that these guys are sitting there like, oh my God, this is life or death for some of these people. Like, I guess like what the producers and like they don't have PAs on. They don't have like 6 PAs on all week. The show is live,
and I'm sure I know it is. I know it's hurting their staff, but it's really fucking selfish to be like, well, hey, we're going to go ahead and, like, I know everyone is suffering right now, but, like, we're really suffering, so we're just going to do it instead, okay?
Yeah, it's like...
Because, like, people are getting fucked over. Like, us reality people, like, I'm in a union, so that really helps me not get fucked over, like, because it's a vastly different pay from a union gig to a non-union gig. That's what union's supposed to do. It's supposed to, like, stick up for you and protect you.
Yeah,
that's what they're trying to do. Like, there's people that, like, haven't got paid for, like the Netflix number. This is something I know for a fact.
Yes.
Netflix is the only streaming company that keeps track of their numbers.
Yes. It's fucking bullshit.
Amazon, Disney Plus, every single one, they do not know how much people have, and they keep it secret because they don't have a system to grade. There's no rating system on streaming services.
Yeah, and
so basically, like if you do a streaming, they used to have, the magic number was like 100 episodes. You get syndication.
Yep.
Your syndication will keep you forever. That shit isn't on streaming. Like, if you did a show like, hey, let's say we were the A-Team back in the 70s. If the A-Team's on Netflix or whatever, like, we ain't seen none of that money.
And I pity the fool who doesn't pay me.
It's still me. Mm-hmm. I'm still, you're still Mr. T. I'm still the other guy that's the white guy.
Liam Neeson.
That guy.
Well, you didn't see the remake?
No, I did not.
Okay, my bad.
But that's the thing is, it's like there's no residual pay for actors and writers because there's no system in place to say, hey, 1 million people, 3 million people, 8 million people watched downloaded and streamed your show. Yeah, None of that is in place to get money for them. But so the
bullshit.
Streaming companies are just sucking up all their money.
They're ranking it all up.
Yeah.
It's
charging us more. Charging the people that just stream that shit more.
It's crazy that, like, you have a Netflix for $7.99 and they're like, yo, we need to keep bringing you content. Now you got to pay $14.99. And then, a meme will get popular and everybody will start rewatching the AO. Yeah. Like a little fucking Netflix series. Mm-hmm. Everybody will start watching it again. You have this huge surge. It'll be memed. People will be talking about it.
And not only that, it's like, Matt Damon, made this. Matt Damon. I know, I can't help myself either. He was talking about the destruction of the DVD and Blu-ray. Like, you go walk into a Best Buy. There's Blu-rays and DVDs are dead, and that's how actors and producers made their money after shit came out.
Yeah, that was a huge deal.
Now you sell it to a streaming service, and it's bye-bye. Like, it's just gone. It's theirs now. They eat it up, and they take everything, and you get nothing from it.
Yeah, and like the big actors like Matt Damon, like The Rock, like Drew Barrymore, if they wanted to pull her on something, they're going to get a fat fucking paycheck. But what about the background actors on that show? Mm-hmm. What about the supporting cast? What about the, man with rake in the lawn? Yeah. What about hand job guy number 2? Like these
guy.
Yeah, that's great. I saw that meme like, ooh, this guy's really hurting for money. It's like hand job guy number 2. I'm like, oh my God, what a credit.
Hey, casting call's a casting call.
Casting call's a casting call. But yeah, like it's
It's wildly selfish. They're putting it in a selfless light, but literally they're making new content in a world where no one else is making new content.
And it's fucking bullshit. Like the fact that like this guy says that he needs to get back to work, you're going to hurt the person you're trying to help. Like, what a contradictory statement.
Yeah, it's literally blowing off it's
such
hey,
bullshit.
I know you guys are bad, but like let's just do it anyway, huh?
Dude, you're helping the fucking problem. Like you're helping the bad guy here. You know, like have you guys ever seen the movie Braveheart?
Yeah.
You see Braveheart?
Mm-hmm.
So you remember at the end of the movie
when they show their asses?
Yes,
in the middle.
They show their asses like, but at the end when they have this whole plan to circle the Brits, the Scottish had the plan to circle the Brits. So all the lords who are like, they told William Wallace, hey, we got your back. We're going to go and you just give us the signal. And they gave the signal and made a big show of turning their horses and armies around to walk away and be like, we're not going to help you because we like our money. Mm-hmm. It's not about our people and our country. It's about my money. Yeah. And I like my money. That's what Bill Maher is. Bill Maher is one of those piece of shit skirt-wearing Scots who turned his back on William Wallace.
Yeah.
The whole idea that you are going to make content without writers who've held up your shitty show for so long and you're not going to pay them, you're not going to find a way for them to make money. Like, okay, my writers come back, I can't do anything except give you $500 each under the table. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll hire you as PAs. Like, there's no way that he can come back to this show. He's literally crossing the picket line and telling the writers of his show, the janitors and the PAs that I employ once a week are more important than you.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It's, I know they're not on a 5-day work schedule.
Yeah,
I know they're not. 100%. I've seen them work.
I see their bungalow. For 3.5, 4 years, we were on that lot.
We were next door to them.
Right next door. We were the bungalow next to them. They actually gave us a fucking bungalow because they weren't using it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm watching these episodes live, but this motherfucker shows up one day a week,
and he cranks out 3 episodes, and he's gone. Yeah, that's who you're dealing. Like, that's the deal.
I know his show is live. But god damn, like this motherfucker's act like.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe is he in a different? Like this was real time whenever I was there. Maybe does he have another show now?
No. Right now it's Bill Maher. It's real time with Bill Maher live. So it's live on Friday nights.
Okay.
And then he has the podcast that's released after, which is just the audio of his episode.
Him like sitting in a chair with somebody awkwardly. I've seen clips of that. It's very strange. It's not a natural setting like this setting.
Yeah. Not signing us, are you? Bill Maher, if you hear this, you need somebody to cross the picket line, holler at your boy.
Hey, I'm funny sometimes. You warm up a crowd any day.
No, I know, really. So, like, I know that I'm biased because I'm a member of SAG and SAG-AFTRA. I joined AFTRA a month before they merged with SAG. I had no idea what was going on. They're like, you have to join AFTRA. I'm like, what the fuck is AFTRA? For doing voiceovers. I'm like, okay, cool. I get an email like halfway through the season, like, hey, yo, SAG and AFTRA are the same thing. I'm like, oh, me and Clooney got the same insurance? Get out of here. Get out of here. So, like, I'm a little biased, and I just know what it's like for the little guy. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be very honest, and I'll tell you something right now, is that I know a lot of warm-up guys who work talk shows, different reality shows and stage shows that warm up the crowd. They do a very good job. Anytime you've been to a stage show and you see that guy that's out there that's getting you pumped up, that's keeping you entertained until your host gets out there, that is not a fucking easy job.
No.
It is not an easy job. It's very, very fucking hard. You're not like the host that has writers or you come up with your own gimmick. You're holding people's attention. You are flying in there when things go down. You're pulled off right in the middle of your shtick and you look like a jackass.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard.
That is really funny when you're in the middle of a bit and you're like, okay, we're coming back.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times I'll be like, oh, what's your name? Oh, Katie okay, we're coming back. Okay, bye. All right.
It's like you're it's like a stand-up like air steward situation because you're trying to keep the entire plane happy with candy and games and trickery.
Yeah, imagine
until the real show starts.
Imagine somebody came and slapped the candy out of your hands and we're taking off. Put your seatbelts on. That's basically what the job is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a little biased, but I'll tell you right now that one thing that I liked relying on is that I've made friends with a lot of those guys. And, I'll get a call from, Kimmel or Ellen or AGT or Idol. I'll get a call from somebody who either double booked or can't do this day or sick. And I was the guy. They would call because they knew that Obi can do the fucking job. Like, Obi can take over for a day and do this for me. Mm-hmm. And it's a great check. It's a great side hustle. Imagine if that all just went away. Like, this is their jobs. Like, they were relying on Kimmel and Fallon and Colbert and Corden. And some of these guys did, like, doing the Wendy Williams show, Kelly Clarkson show, like all these daytime shows.
If you are watching a show with an audience, guarantee there is one person making sure that audience is happy and clapping and smiling and all of that shit in between commercial breaks, in between wardrobe changes, anything, whatever,
Yeah, and like the shitty part about that is like, yes, it's a good job, and yes, there is money there, but that union protects these people so they are able to get a living wage for something that no one has like when you go, like you can't just like leave Ralph's and go do a warm-up gig for 6 hours on your
feet with a microphone,
regulating your fucking blood pressure, and then leave and go back to Ralph's. It's not a side job. That is your job. And the fact that these people can just like some of these guys I've seen, they've moved out of LA, man. They live in like Diamond Bar. They live in Ontario, or some of them like they live out of state. They only like get an Airbnb out here or stay with a friend when their show's in session because they can't afford
to be here.
Mm-hmm. And that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And
there's so much money being made on everyone's backs that like just give people some more fucking money.
Dude, like
I know you can.
Bill Maher does not have a wife, does not have a fucking kid. He is just sitting there complaining about young people while he goes back and fucks black women. And black women famously, don't ask much. They are the ones pulling the weight. He's not sitting there with some fucking woman that he's got to support and buy the finest shit. No. Black women got their own shit. My whole point is Bill Maher is not hurting for fucking money.
No.
This fucking
it's
superhero
because he wants
bullshit.
To be on TV still.
It's narcissism.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this goes for you too, Drew.
Hey, you warmed my heart with ET. You ate my craft service, but this is where I draw the line.
If Drew Barrymore has been acting since she was 8 years old and cannot stand to be off air for a year, that is a bigger problem. There's a bigger problem there than the strike. Bitch, you ain't managing your money right.
Well, I think we saw the 90s. We knew what happened for a while.
Yeah, we're not going to go into that. Wasn't she friends with River Phoenix? Anyway, this has been a great episode. A good place to cut it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about the strike? Just to sign off?
I just give people some fucking money and let's go make some more movies and shit.
Dude, it's so much money.
People get real sick of watching reality TV next year. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you right now, I'm sick of watching what I'm watching right now.
Yes.
We're
starting to run out. We're gonna run out of new content in the next month.
Bro,
or two.
It's just the Calm app and videos of my own life on loop. That's what my life is now.
Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to us and hanging out with us. Big shout out to Blaine Pierre, our producer, super producer. DNA does our music. Aaron Mostow does our music. I'm here with Bennett Miller.
Hey, catch you next time.
See you later, everybody.